doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers, signs paperwork, and smiles while sharpening knives. Babylon has just fallen, Persia has moved in, and King Darius is sitting on a throne wondering how to control a system that's way bigger than his attention span. So he does what every ruler does when overwhelmed. He creates layers, 120 satraps, middle management on steroids, then 3 administrators above them, and at the very top of that triangle sits Daniel. Now, Daniel isn't ambitious in the loud way. He doesn't campaign. He doesn't posture. He simply works consistently, relentlessly, and cleanly. He delivers results without excuses, without bribes, without drama, which, in a political ecosystem built on shortcuts and favors, is deeply offensive. His co-workers don't hate him because he's arrogant. They hate him because he makes corruption look lazy. So they start watching him closely. They check his records, his finances, his decisions, his personal life, and they find nothing. Daniel is irritatingly spotless. No scandal, no slip-ups, no weakness. And that's when desperation turns creative. If they can't trap Daniel through his work, they'll trap him through his devotion. Because Daniel prays regularly, predictably, without fear. They draft a law that looks ceremonial but cuts like a blade. For 30 days, no one is allowed to pray to anyone except the king. No exceptions, no loopholes. Anyone who disobeys gets fed to the lions. It's not spiritual, it's political, a loyalty test disguised as worship. Darius signs it, flattered, distracted, and completely unaware that he has just approved a personalized execution order. Daniel hears about the decree. He doesn't argue with it. He doesn't debate it. He doesn't crowdsource opinions on social media. He goes home. He opens his windows. He kneels. He prays. Same posture, same rhythm, same faith. Not because he's reckless, but because altering himself to survive would mean surrendering long before the lions ever touch him. They catch him instantly. The same men who wrote the law are suddenly very passionate about enforcing it. They rush to the king with an excitement they can barely disguise. Darius understands immediately what has happened, and regret hits him hard. Daniel isn't expendable. Daniel is his best administrator, the one guy keeping the whole thing running smoothly. He spends the entire day trying to undo the law, hunting for technicalities, loopholes, anything that could save him. But Persian law doesn't bend. Once written, it rules even the king. By sunset, Daniel is escorted to the lion's den. This isn't symbolic. This isn't a metaphor. This is a pit engineered for death. The smell alone tells you what happens here. The lions are not decorative. They are trained, hungry, efficient. As Daniel is lowered inside, Darius mutters a sentence that sounds more like a wish than a command. "May your God deliver you." Then the stone seals shut. Inside the den, fear becomes physical. The growls are low and constant. Massive shapes move in the darkness. Daniel can hear their breathing, feel their presence. This isn't about not being afraid. This is about endurance. Hours pass. The lions circle. One brushes past him, and nothing happens. No attack, no roar, just waiting. A night stretched thin between life and death. Meanwhile, Darius doesn't sleep. He refuses food. He sends away the musicians. He paces the palace like a man who realizes too late that his ego has just murdered the only honest person in his administration. At dawn, he runs to the den, his voice cracking as he calls out, desperate, afraid to hope. "Daniel, are you alive?" The response comes calmly, almost casually. "Yes, an angel shut the lions' mouths. They didn't touch me." The stone is rolled away. Daniel emerges without a single injury. No scratches, no blood. He's not even shaken. The crowd doesn't cheer immediately because this outcome completely breaks their understanding of power. This wasn't supposed to happen. The men who accused Daniel are brought forward next, along with their families. They don't last seconds. The lions were never gentle. They were simply selective. Darius issues a new decree, this one fueled by awe and a healthy dose of fear. The God of Daniel is to be respected across the entire empire. Not debated, not tested, a recognition born not from theology, but from survival. And Daniel, he returns to work. He prospers. He continues serving under kings who rise and fall around him. He doesn't change. He never had to, because the miracle was never that the lions didn't eat him. The miracle was that power failed to break him first. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content that explores the deeper currents of history and faith. See you next time.